Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to New Japan Pro Wrestling's G1 Climax 26. We are on day 13, and we are going to be starting things out as per usual with a bunch of tag team matches. The first one, though, is something that we've grown familiar with over the course of this tournament. Jushin, Thunder Liger, and Tiger Mask teaming up, but their opponents, a little bit of a different combination here. Taguchi teaming up with Captain New Japan, of all people. So maybe Liger and Tiger Mask will finally get their revenge on Captain New Japan for being such an awful tag team partner all this time.
I would certainly think so, partner. Should be a very interesting tag team match to open day 13 of the G1 Climax 26.
Definitely. We have our New Japan World Players set to 14 minutes and 15 seconds. That's 1415. For those of you without New Japan World, I would highly recommend buying a subscription. It's just over $8, and you get the entirety of New Japan World, which means that you get their backlog, which means that even if you only buy August as a subscription, you can still go back and watch July's G1 shows, so you can be caught up on the entire tournament, and you can use our commentary to do it. It's a huge advantage, and it is a great value, better value than the WWE Network for sure. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's move on to the show itself. As I said before, 14 minutes, 15 seconds, and we're going to be hitting the play button on go. 3, 2, 1, go. There you see Liger and Tiger Mask, and I wonder just how angry they are about Captain New Japan being a traitor and turning. Oh, right there. They attacked him. The bell hasn't even rung yet, I don't think, has it?
No, it has not, and Captain New Japan missing the double shoulder block right out of the gate. And now Liger going to throw Captain New Japan out of the ring. We know Liger and Tiger Mask, former IWGP Junior Tag Team Champions. And now Captain New Japan there, his back hitting the guardrail. Nice baseball slide there by Liger. And I'll tell you, Captain New Japan, he is in a bad, bad way, but that's to be expected. Captain New Japan being in a bad way is like a day that ends in Y. It just never stops. And a nice foot stomp there by Liger on the face of Captain New Japan. And the great thing here for Liger and Tiger Mask is that they trust each other. You know, there's going to be no hesitation with tags, and you see the first tag there. I bet they're going to be frequent if I had to imagine. Nice kicks to the thigh there by Tiger Mask to Captain New Japan.
Well, and even if they weren't such a strong tag team, they would still be making frequent tags just because they're that eager to get in there and beat up Captain New Japan.
Exactly. Another thigh kick there by Tiger Mask.
They do a little bit of beating up of Captain New Japan even when he's on their team because of how long it takes for him to go up to the top for the headbutt.
Exactly.
Imagine what they're going to do now when they actually have him on the opposing team and the opportunity to beat him up and have it be beneficial to them, you know?
That's an excellent point, partner. As you see now, Liger just wringing out the arm of Captain New Japan.
Oh, and the elbow to the shoulder. Liger is technical, man. He is breaking New Japan down like a freaking surgeon right now.
Yeah, Captain New Japan, if you notice, they kept him in the enemy territory that whole time. That whole time that Liger was wringing the arm, he never left his corner. And again, here we see the frequent tags, the wrist control, and a kick there to the midsection by Liger to Captain New Japan. Captain New Japan now off the ropes. Drop toe hold there by Liger, and we know what's coming next here, partner.
Surfboard time.
Surfboard time indeed. And let's see here, Taguchi might want to come in here. His body's half in. Now he's all the way in. And there's a knee. That wasn't even a hip attack. That was just a straight knee to Liger.
Wow, I wonder if he's going to forego the hip attacks in this match and take it seriously because he knows that his partner's dead weight.
And I look at Tiger Mask. How smart is that? He knows that Liger's been neutralized. They could have lost their advantage. Tiger Mask taking out Taguchi on the apron. Now another double team here. Captain New Japan checks it, and there's the double shoulder block there.
Wow, look at Captain New Japan.
Now Captain New Japan here has a slight opening to make the tag, and he does it.
And he does. Let's remember Liger. Oh, never mind. He's still doing the hip attacks. But as I was going to say, Liger is still legal, even though Tiger Mask was in the ring there for a while. Jushin Thunder Liger is the legal man for that team. And now Taguchi just going, rope to rope, hip attacks for everyone. Guess nobody ever told him not to go ass to mouth.
Exactly. And you see Taguchi there Paying homage, I guess, to Shinsuke Nakamura, but nice atomic drop there almost like a rear atomic drop by Liger to Taguchi. Taguchi off the ropes. Springboard hip attack. That's unique. It goes into the leg hook here.
And here I thought I've seen everything from Taguchi.
Exactly, and he's still smacking that rump.
He's still innovating new ways to use his ass to inflict damage.
Now I'm thinking the top rope hip attack. No! Liger creating distance. Taguchi off the ropes. Tilt-a-whirl backbreaker.
Backbreaker.
And another tilt-a-whirl backbreaker there. Taguchi wanted more.
Very nice.
Not often you see a guy asking for seconds of Liger's tilt-a-whirl backbreaker.
Taguchi's just dumb enough to do it, though.
Exactly. Nice spinning back kick there by Tiger Mask to Captain New Japan, but Captain New Japan there with the throat thrust.
I wonder if Captain New Japan is tough enough to kick out of even a single Tiger Bomb.
We're going to find out. Taguchi there isolating Liger, and now imploring Captain New Japan, please go to the top rope, do your headbutt, stop wasting time. And now look at this here. Everybody is so sick of Captain New Japan.
You know you're a screw-up when even Taguchi is sick of your face.
Exactly. And look at Tiger Mask. He's already up. Captain New Japan, I mean, I've seen wastes of time, but that was just ridiculous. There's the hip attack, though, by Taguchi. This could still happen here.
Captain New Japan going up top, and he misses.
Tiger Mask was still able to evade the headbutt of Captain New Japan.
Oh, and there Liger just discarded of Taguchi. We just Tiger Mask and Liger in the ring here with Captain New Japan. There's the palm strike.
That palm strike in the corner is vicious, and it's definitely dazed Captain New Japan up for the
Here's
Tiger
the Tiger Bomb. Is this going to be enough? 1, 2, and no! Taguchi breaks it up.
I'll be honest, that was a save I wasn't expecting.
Same here. And then the thing is, Captain New Japan didn't kick out, so he actually would have lost to that if it wasn't for Taguchi.
Exactly.
But what he didn't realize is that now he's in the ring with Tiger Mask by himself, and he's definitely going to tap out.
And he does. He calls it.
He couldn't tap out. He just had to verbally submit.
Exactly. That armbar by Tiger Mask, just brutal there.
What a quick match, man. That was like 5 minutes.
Yeah, they made quick work of Taguchi and Captain New Japan.
I guess that's what happens when you put a competent junior heavyweight tag team against a team that includes Captain New Japan.
I mean, again, Liger and Tiger Mask are former IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. So, not a surprise, even though their reign was only 36 days, and back in 2012, you don't forget experiences like that. Their chemistry is still on point all this time later, and Captain New Japan takes a submission loss here.
And even though we didn't watch G1 Climax in 2012, 13, or 14, it's probably safe to assume that these guys teamed up a lot in those tournaments on the tag team matches section as well.
Exactly.
And you know, you got to imagine, I'm not the biggest fan of Taguchi, but I do kind of feel bad for him here. I feel like it could have been Okada teaming up with Captain New Japan, and Liger and Tiger Mask would have still found a way to discard Okada, isolate Captain New Japan, and pick up the win.
Exactly, and you saw Captain New Japan wanted a handshake, Liger and Tiger Mask ignoring him, and this is going to be the first time here. Captain New Japan leaves, not a handshake, no arm raise, no anything. He's going to go to the back. I guess going to sulk a little bit.
Well, I mean, they don't need to respect him today because they're not on his team.
Exactly.
I think that's the only reason they ever do that in the first place.
Right.
And you know what? Okay, listen up. New Japan, you got to understand. People like watching Jushin Thunder Liger leave the ring. You can't keep cutting away from Jushin Thunder Liger when he leaves the ring. It's not cool.
Yeah, respect the request. And now, Liger and Tiger Mask heading to the back. Our first tag team match of the tag portion of Day 13. I'll tell you.
Hey, that being said, though, let's look at what happens next. We've got sort of an interesting lineup today. Los Ingobernables de Japón typically will main event the tag portion of G1 Climax. However, today, they're actually going on second. They're coming up next. However, the sort of interesting aspect here is that they don't have any G1 competitors on the opposing team.
Very
Los Ingobernables de Japón are going to be taking on the team of Kojima, Kushida, and Juice Robinson. And what makes this interesting is that they don't have any G1 opponents on the other side of the ring. because Naito and Evil are actually facing each other tomorrow.
Yes, that's going to be a fascinating matchup. We're going to see the power dynamics of Los Ingobernables de Japón. And you mentioned Kojima. Well, Jay Lethal, who's addressing the crowd, I guess, via satellite right now, Kojima is going to be getting an ROH World Championship match, I believe on the day of the G1 Climax Tournament Finals or at a separate event. But regardless, he is going to be in the ring with Jay Lethal for that world title.
Yeah, it is going to be on the ROH Finals Day. Or, I'm sorry, the New Japan G1 Climax's Finals Day. Yes, that is
Right.
the show that this championship match is taking place on.
And Jay Lethal, speaking with a lot of bravado, a lot of confidence, as we've come to expect from him as champion.
He got his head shaved. I'm kind of trying to remember who he faced in the hair match.
I didn't even know he had a hair versus hair match.
Yeah, he did recently, but I don't remember who it was that shaved his head.
It's pretty big stakes, and I'm surprised Jay Lethal came up on the losing end of it, but he looks good with the bald look. I approve.
Well, I mean, obviously he didn't lose his championship, and that's all that matters.
Exactly. And now here comes King of Darkness Evil, the Grim Reaper of New Japan. Got the scythe and the, laser fingers. Probably one of my favorite entrance attires going right now. It's just so freaking
cool.
It
was actually Adam Cole in the Bullet Club who shaved Jay Lethal bald.
Well, that would explain the story of Adam Cole versus Jay Lethal down the road for the ROH World title if Jay Lethal can get past Kojima, which we'll see. Jay Lethal, fighting champion indeed, taking on all comers, it seems like, because who would have thought Kojima would be in this position, but he's been so impressive in tag team action, but he has never faced a team like Los Ingobernables de Japón, Evil, Bushi, and Naito. And how do you think the power dynamics are going to work their way out tomorrow, partner?
I'm really curious to see if Naito can get Evil to lay down for him.
I'm curious of the same thing, or maybe they have enough mutual respect for each other that they'll just have a competitive match and they'll let the chips fall where they may. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely possible. I'm not trying to ignore that or deny it as a possible outcome, because that could definitely happen.
I mean, let's remember last year when AJ Styles was still with New Japan, he had a match with Bad Luck Fale, and he expected Fale to lay down. Fale didn't do it. They actually ended up having a match. AJ Styles cheated to win that match. He got his feet all over the ropes. And I'm just wondering if we're going to see kind of a repeat here, if maybe Naito wants Evil to lay down. And even though Evil's record hasn't been the best, it's always a pride issue. When a man asks you to lay down in that ring, that's pretty much him saying, at least in my eyes, partner, you're not worth the effort. Just go along to get along, do as you're told, and eat the pin. And Evil might not like being talked to like that through the actions of Naito.
See, that's how you would take being asked to lie down if you had an ego, which I think you and I both have, but I feel like Evil and Naito are more sort of mutually understanding of each other, and they are both intelligent enough and tactical and strategic enough to realize that going to war with each other isn't going to benefit either one of them.
Right.
And then, I don't know. I mean, maybe Evil will decide to grow some pride just as the match is about to begin and decide not to lay down for Naito, but if I'm Evil, I'm just going to, do the deed, give my master or my boss or my, the leader of the faction that I'm in, an easy day, a rest day, and myself a rest day as well, and take the loss. I'm already at this point 2-4. I'm already practically out of the tournament. There's a very, very, very small chance of me winning my block. I might as well just help the guy in my faction who has a chance still to get closer to winning his block,
So you're going to give Los Ingobernables de Japón, and in particular Naito and Evil, you're going to give them the credit of being able to see the forest for the trees. Of really being able to see, us killing each other. That's only going to benefit the New Japan officials that probably want to see us disintegrate because they know what a threat we are. The whole idea...
That's probably why they put them in the same block, yeah.
Yeah. And, you figure, I mean, the only thing that kind of takes the sting a little bit out of it, if you're evil, is, well, I've already pinned Michael Elgin, so I can at least settle for the IWGP Intercontinental Championship. But given the prestige and the history of that championship, I would hardly call it settling to begin with.
Well, and even then, I feel like Evil is going to go against Elgin first, and Naito is going to use him as sort of a pawn to soften Elgin up so that Naito can then capitalize and win the Intercontinental title for himself. But again, I say for himself, making it seem like it's a very selfish thing, but at the end of the day, what really matters is that the Intercontinental Championship would then belong to Los Ingobernables de Japón.
So you really believe that Los Ingobernables de Japón, and we'll find out tomorrow, and we'll find out in the weeks and months ahead, because, I mean, their journey is only getting more interesting with all the developments that unfold. But you really think they've kind of developed this collective consciousness, one mindset, one goal, we're going to march towards it together. That's very interesting, and we'll see.
I think that it's four guys who all feel like there are certain things in wrestling that aren't necessarily worth holding up. There are certain traditions, certain things that are expected of you that are unnecessary and can be ignored. And I think that these guys all agree about that. And I think that they have maybe not, a shared consciousness, like you said, but I think very similar mindsets. And I think that mindset also kind of plays into cooperating with each other to better the unit.
Right.
This
tag team bout is very interesting to me because, I mean, again, we saw Jay Lethal. He had a message for Kojima. Kojima might want to respond physically. And I'll tell you, if Los Ingobernables de Japón is threatened by anything, in my mind, it would be if Kojima is alone in that ring with Bushi. Because I think he could hit Bushi with one of those Koji lariats, and then that undefeated streak, I think we're up to, 6 straight wins for this tag team?
Yeah, we are.
Would collapse. And again, I have to bring up the usual points. I mean, Kushida, the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, he's sharing a ring with Bushi. If Bushi can pin Kushida, that puts him in the title hunt. And, probably the most recent story here, Juice Robinson back in the ring now. We know the damage that Naito did to his leg before. You think Juice is a little shaken up sharing a ring with Naito again?
Maybe. I mean, we saw the leg scissors cross knee lock applied to Juice Robinson on day 12, and he held it in for a little while, but I don't think he really did any excess damage. So maybe Juice is healed by now. It was 2 days ago.
Right.
I know we only recorded yesterday, but it was an event that occurred 2 days ago. So maybe Juice has recovered to at least a degree that he won't be limping or anything like that today. I don't think he has tape on his knee or anything. I think he's recovered enough. Maybe not completely, but enough.
Let me ask you, partner, you're Kojima. You're starting this match off with Naito. You realize, I mean, Kojima had to see the message that Jay Lethal just got done sending via satellite. I mean, is your mind in this match, or are you thinking to yourself, man, my chance to be a world champion is imminent. It's only maybe a week or so away. I mean, we're close. Do you think Kojima's mind is there, or do you think his mind is in this tag match to send a message to Jay Lethal?
I think we're far enough separated from the ROH World Title match that, wow, and look at this. Bushi comes in to attack Kojima. Look at it. They just cleared the ring. Anyway, I think we're far separated enough from the ROH World Title match that Kojima can focus on this.
I would have to agree with you for the moment, but we'll see. And Kojima trying to hold his own, and even with the kick there.
I don't care how focused you are. It's really, really difficult to win a 2-on-1 battle.
It is. And Kojima, though, that was a nice shoulder block to Evil. Now Naito back up. Naito and Kojima are still legal.
Yes, they are. And Kojima, lightning chops.
Oh, man, Naito. Oh, God. Even Naito's not smiling through all that pain. Well, there you go.
Oh, but he spit in his face.
And
more chops. And now, Irish whip into the opposite corner. Forearm, rolls Naito out. Is he going to be able to hit the elbow drop here? No, Evil.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Los Ingobernables de Japón are the closest thing to the Shield that New Japan Pro Wrestling has. They are all over everybody at all times. They're a swarm.
And it's even more interesting, too, because the Shield was all dressed in black all the time. And even though black is sort of a recurring theme with Los Ingobernables de Japón, they're also very colorful. They've got, Naito wearing the red, white, and black trunks. You've got Evil wearing all the purple with the purple hair. And Bushi is he always wears a bunch of different colors. Although I have noticed a trend where he tends to wear a lot more red and green than I think anything else. Maybe even a little blue in there.
Right. As now Naito just stomping on Kojima there. Now Bushi gets tagged. Bushi now legal.
Taking his shirt off for the choke, baby. Here we go. Yes.
I've always admired how Los Ingobernables de Japón, they can extract a utility from just all objects. Like a shirt.
Had that choke. He had that shirt choke held in for 9 seconds.
Exactly. And that's just my point, partner. A shirt, to the average man, it's an article of clothing. In the hands of a Los Ingobernables de Japón member, it's a weapon. And that's just how good these guys are. Now Kojima with the body shots there to Evil. Now a forearm strike, but Evil goes straight for the eye rake. And that's the best way I could describe the offense of really all the members of Los Ingobernables. I know not a cent on there. Hook the leg. 2. Kojima kicks out, but that is the way I would describe the offense of pretty much all the Los Ingobernables de Japón members, but I think especially the likes of Evil and Naito. They always want to take the path of least resistance, get the most effective offense, but the least amount of work at the same time.
They're the min-maxers of the wrestling world.
Exactly. I couldn't have said it better. Nice corner Larry right there. And a drop kick
by
Naito.
My God.
Just shot
1,
that off.
2. Oh, and Kojima kicks out. But that sequence was amazing. Bushi with the double knees, Evil with the lariat, and then rolls Kojima out to set him up for a Naito drop kick. And now Naito looking for this pump handle, I think like a Tiger Flosion that he did yesterday. Oh, and there's the Enziguri. And I guess he kind of gave up on the Tiger Flosion. He wanted a Tornado DDT, but Kojima reverses, goes for Naito went for the lariat, and Kojima checked it.
And now Kojima, DDT.
Wow. He planted Naito flat on the top of his head. That is incredibly painful.
Now we know at day 12, we saw Kojima hit the DDT on Gedo, and then he immediately followed it up with the Koji Lariat, but Kojima's already expended so much energy, he's going to try and get the tag here to Kushida, and look at Bushi, though he stops it.
Wow. Los Ingobernables de Japón are the best team right now at... Oh, and there's the Koji Cutter. The best team right now at keeping their one specific opponent in the ring at all times for as long as they possibly can.
Exactly. Now Kushida gets the tag. I noticed Juice Robinson wasn't even on the apron. He was playing more cheerleader. Maybe he is a little intimidated, but there are the kicks to the arm there of Bushi.
But Bushi catches it and the eye rake.
Off the ropes.
Oh, inverted atomic drop there from Kushida. And then the low drop kick. He's going to do the cartwheel drop kick here. Yes, he is.
And Kushida now building a base of momentum here.
Kushida is going. He's going to fly. Bushi's. Oh, nope. Evil
put a stop to it. I don't agree with this, though. Kushida's very spry, and he gets out of the way there.
Oh, and there. Kushida tosses Bushi to the outside. Now he is going to fly. No one's there to stop him. Over the top. Tope Atomiko.
Yeah, exactly. And now Kushida, he is feeling it here. He is fired up. He just took out Evil and Bushi in one blow. We don't know where Naito is. I see Naito there. He's recovering off to the side.
Bushi is the legal man, so that's something that Kushida needs to keep in mind.
Well, if I'm Kushida, I'm grateful for that because I can compete with other junior heavyweights. Obviously, I'm the IWGP.
Well, no, I mean, I just meant making sure that he knows who to throw back in the ring, and obviously he did. Oh, and there's the Enziguri miss into the reverse Enziguri, and then a huge forearm from Kushida there.
Yeah, Kushida may have lost a tooth from that inverted Enziguri, but.
Bushi, you mean? Yeah, Bushi might have lost a tooth. I agree.
Well, no. Kushida was the one that spit out when he got hit with the inverted Enziguri by Bushi. That's why I'm saying.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
And now Evil in the ring here. And
I thought you meant from the forearm. That forearm was brutal from Kushida.
It was, partner. You're not wrong there. Now look at the snap jabs by Juice Robinson.
Yeah, Evil and Juice Robinson both got tagged in, and now Evil with the big uppercut. Oh, there, Juice went for the lariat but missed, and there's the spine buster. Juice Robinson is feeling it right now.
Yeah, and Evil's no small man. That really puts the power of Juice Robinson on display. corner
One could
lariat
even
there.
say the juice is loose.
Definitely, and another lariat there off the ropes. Hooks the leg.
1,
2.
2. No, only a 2 count, and Evil pops right up. Oh, look at this. Juice Robinson going after Naito. That might be the biggest mistake of your career, kid.
Yeah, did you not remember the last tag team match you faced Naito in?
That's going to be, if Evil manages to get a tag into Naito, it is going to be violent.
Nice double team
nice
there.
lariat kick combo there from Juice and Kushida. Brainbuster from Kojima onto Evil. And now, I'm not even sure where. Oh, he went up to the top rope. Juice Robinson about to do this crossbody, I believe. And he nails it. Goes for the pin. 1, 2. Oh, and Naito and Bushi both break it up.
Just in the nick of time. I loved the teamwork from that trio of Kojima, Juice Robinson, and Kushida.
You know what, John? Kojima is out of the ring here, trying to handle Naito, but Naito already got the upper hand. Meanwhile, Bushi and Kushida are going at it on the other end. Juice Robinson might be able to hit a kill switch here, but no, went for the crescent kick on Bushi. Bushi tosses him into Naito, inverted atomic drop, and then the lariat from Evil rolls him through. Is he going to hit the STO here? Yes, he is. I think that might be it. 1, 2, and Evil pins Juice Robinson for the win for Los Ingobernables de Japón.
This trio in tag team matches is now 7-0.
That is unbelievable. This trio, as a unit, has a better record than any G1 competitor right now.
That is insanity. These guys are so dominant. You gotta wonder what combination of people could even beat Los Ingobernables de Japón. And again, I say, we asked that same question for a long time about the Shield. And now I'm asking that again here about Los Ingobernables de Japón and Kushida. Why are you even in that ring? You ain't getting out alive.
If you look at every member of the B block right now, if you don't count Naito and Evil, who are already in Los Ingobernables de Japón, this trio has as many wins as any 2 B block performers.
Right. Look at this here. A stare down between
Evil and Naito with a stare down. Are we going to get a handshake or a hug, or are they actually going to be competitive about this? I'm really curious to see how they handle this tomorrow.
Yeah, look at that. Evil not necessarily going for the fist right away. Bushi is. Evil's the last man.
And
where is it? I think he's going to raise it.
Yep.
There it is.
He knows what he needs to do.
But Evil has not taken his eyes off Naito. I'm not so sure about that, partner. That's the look of a man that may have other machinations in mind.
He may, but I think Evil is going to do the right thing.
We'll see. I mean, tomorrow's going to be very telling. I think actually that's one of the more intriguing matchups on the card for tomorrow.
For sure, yeah.
And Evil, the ring left to him, but now he's going to join. It's a very, very interesting dynamic there that we just watched unfold.
You know, I'm beginning to think Evil's pride might get the best of him, just like what happened with AJ and Fale last year.
Yeah. I mean, imagine...
And it's a shame, too, because if Evil does manage to beat Naito, I mean, it might help Evil have a slightly better record, but it'll hurt Los Ingobernables de Japón's chances of representing in the finals of their block.
And not only that, I mean, that's only a short-term loss. When I think about the long-term loss, I think the whole dynamic of Los Ingobernables de Japón, if Evil beats Naito, if he goes all in and he gives him a competitive match, I mean, those dynamics are going to shift. And then power's going to be questioned, and then that's how factions like this crumble. Because Evil's going to have in his mind that he's better than Naito.
That he's better than Naito, yeah.
Right.
I mean, maybe for that one match, we'll see. But as you can see now, we've got the Bullet Club, Kenny Omega and Yujiro, taking on a tag team that's actually, I believe, held IWGP Gold before, Nakanishi, or just Yuji Nagata and Manabu Nakanishi.
Another standard tag team bout. Very, very nice. We had one to start. Liger and Tiger Mask versus Captain New Japan and Taguchi. And now we got Kenny Omega and Yujiro Takahashi here versus Nagata and Nakanishi. Kenny Omega, partner, had the match of his life. I feel like I said that with the Elgin match, but even more so with this match. Kenny Omega's match with Shibata yesterday was one of the most competitive affairs I think I've seen in recent memory. Got to give big ups to Shibata. Took so many V triggers to the face and
Yeah.
still countered a second one-winged angel into the sleeper. An ingenious counter. Kenny Omega tried to fight. He had some very creative ways to try and get out of the sleeper, but it was for naught because Shibata kept it locked in, then the PK, and then it was over. So Kenny Omega now sits at 500. A very interesting place for a man that we've been thinking might not only win his block, but potentially win the whole tournament. It's a bit of a climb now for Kenny Omega.
And by the way, I can confirm that Nakanishi and Yuji Nagata have held the IWGP Tag Team Championships. However, it's been well over a decade since their title run. They had those titles in 1999, and they held it for almost a year, but not quite.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, but they have tagged, before, even if not in championship situations. I mean, they have kept tagging.
They held those titles from August till July, from August 99 till July of 2000. So they were actually the champions at the turn of the millennia.
Wow.
It has been nearly, not quite, but nearly 17 years since they won those titles.
That is insane to think about, partner.
It's odd for me to think about Nakanishi being old enough to have been a champion with Nagata in 1999. He doesn't seem that old.
Right.
But as it turns out, he's almost 50. 49 years old is Nakanishi.
Well, what do you think about these tag team dynamics? Because you have two teams that really do know each other very well. So there's not any kind of relationship disparity, any kind of connection disparity. And certainly you'd have to give the experience edge to Nakanishi and Nagata.
You know what? I'm going to give the edge to Omega and Yujiro because let's remember on day 12, Nakanishi has been too far separated from his last G1 Climax. The level at which you have to be in shape and in a certain condition to compete in a G1 Climax is so elite that Yujiro is still in great conditioning even after having been in G1 last year and not even this year. I think Nakanishi might end up being the weak link in this match.
Yeah, and we know that Yujiro Takahashi, that DDT that he likes to employ, he could hit Nakanishi with it, because as we've said before in the past, when a man's on his hands and knees, like everybody's the same size in that position, and Nakanishi on his knees, it wouldn't be much of a threat. So Yujiro might be able to get that DDT off on him. We're going to start out here with Yuji Nagata and Kenny Omega.
And this is a preview for tomorrow's B block match.
I would have to think that Kenny Omega would get the win in that one, but Yuji Nagata, man, like Shibata, I called Shibata a lot in his match yesterday with Omega, a tough son of a bitch, and you could definitely say the same about Yuji Nagata. The guy doesn't quit. You can make mincemeat out of a limb of Nagata's, and he's still going to find a way to beat you. And now look at Kenny Omega.
He is a very tough man.
Kenny Omega was working that wrist lock. Nagata escaped out of it. Now the side headlock by Nagata to Omega. Omega going to push off the ropes here. I mean, who do you have in that bout tomorrow, partner?
The Omega Nagata match, I definitely have Omega. He is a different kind of athlete than what we've seen in a while in New Japan. He's kind of on that Kota Ibushi tier of athlete, and I think the difference is that Kota Ibushi never really put it together completely from a mental perspective, and I think Kenny Omega is a few notches above that mentally.
Exactly. I would certainly agree with you. I mean, ever since Kenny Omega moved up to the heavyweight class, and I've said this before, like anybody who knows me knows I'm a fan of amateur competition, and I've seen guys, when you move up in weight classes, your ability diminishes. I don't know if that's because they're not comfortable in that new weight class or what. I think Kenny Omega's gotten better since moving up in weight classes, and that makes him, in my mind, an anomaly. And a very dangerous anomaly at that.
I think that the reason that people underperform when they move up in weight class is because the weight class that they perform at in the first place is a more natural weight for them.
Right.
So when they bulk up, it's less natural and they lose some of their speed. I think that the reason Omega has been thriving as much as he has is because I think that when he was in the junior division, I think that was an unnatural weight for him. I think he might have been starving himself to stay at that weight, and he might have even been weaker in a weakened state because of it. And now that he's able to kind of be at a more natural weight for himself, for his body, I think that this might actually be why he's performing so well, because of that reason right there. He's more natural. He's able to really enjoy himself. He's able to live more healthily, and I think that that's paying off for him.
I think that's a very interesting assessment you got there, partner. And you want to talk about natural? The power of Nakanishi is all natural, and now Kenny Omega.
Oh, and there's Kenny Omega.
Man of the hour. Speak of the devil and he shall appear. Kenny Omega there being a difference maker.
That's what I mean, though, when I say that I think he is on another level mentally than Kota Ibushi ever was. And the reason I keep on bringing up Ibushi, these guys were a tag team. Omega and Ibushi were the Golden Stars. They were a tag team, and Omega, to me, they were the one thing that they had in common was their ridiculous athleticism. They're both incredible athletes, but I think Omega is just a few notches above Ibushi from the mental aspect of pro wrestling.
I would have to agree. The Kenny Omega that I've been seeing, his match with Elgin, his match with Shibata, oddly enough, losing efforts on the part of Omega, but those matches have really proven to me Kenny Omega is ready to be IWGP Heavyweight Champion. It's just a matter of getting there. It's a matter of getting that path cleared for yourself to the Wrestle Kingdom 11 main event. And Yujiro Takahashi doing brilliant work here on Nakanishi. Goes into the cover. Nakanishi, that was barely a 2 count.
And John, you'll recall at one point we actually went over Kenny Omega, or I'm sorry, not Kenny Omega, Makabe's remaining tournament, and we said, he's got such a difficult schedule from here on out, he might not even win another match, and he's already lost 2 straight matches since we said that. That being said, though, let's look at the rest of Kenny Omega's tournament. We know he's facing Nagata next. Nagata is on a bit of a losing streak himself.
Right.
He then faces Nakajima, who is going to be a tough opponent, but he did just lose to Naito, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Omega's next opponent after him is actually Naito.
Right.
So those are it's kind of an increasing difficulty as you go. But if he can manage to get past Nagata and Nakajima, I think he has a shot against Naito. It's going to be a challenge. There's no doubt about that. Naito's a challenge for anyone. But I think Kenny Omega versus Naito is going to be possibly even the match that determines the winner of this block. We will see.
And partner, wait a minute here. Double release Northern Light suplex there by Nakanishi. But what I was going to say to you is I find it quite poetic that Kenny Omega's remaining tournament matches ascend in difficulty because Kenny Omega, being an avid gamer that he is, he's quite used to that.
Exactly.
Oh, nice kicks there by Nagata to the chest of Omega. Nagata and Omega legal. This is a preview for tomorrow. Kenny Omega shot in the opposite corner. Boot there by Nagata. And now
inverted. Well, no, not inverted. It was just a T-bone, right?
T-bone exploder into the lateral press, and Omega kicks out.
Only a 2 count. Kenny Omega and Yuji Nagata, very, very, really just a clash of everything. I want to say styles, but it really is a clash of everything.
Right. Oh, could it be the Shield May armbar? No, it's not.
Oh, that was so close. Omega almost got caught.
And now Nagata off the ropes there. Rolls through.
Oh, and there's the low drop kick to the knee.
Anti-aging. Oh, tried to go for a boot there. Omega stopped it. There's a step up in Sagiri there.
Yeah.
The
dragon, the Snapdragon.
Brilliantly done.
I don't know if anybody has a faster dragon suplex than Kenny Omega.
Yeah, that's one of his calling cards for sure. Nakanishi and Takahashi back in there.
Yeah, now Takahashi has, I believe, didn't he defeat Nakanishi in their last match?
I believe I want to say that was Tama Tonga with the gun stun.
Ah, that's right, yeah. Well, it was a member of the Bullet Club, but it was a G1 member. And again, Takahashi is a year removed from his last G1.
Exactly, and now look at Nakanishi. You're going to prep that arm for a lariat. Oh, man.
It's unbelievable that this man is almost 50 years old to me.
Tell me about it. And there's the lariat there. Hooks the leg.
1, 2, and Omega breaks it up. And then comes Nagata to try and discard Omega and handle him. Heading to the outside there. He and Omega are going to go at it now, and Nakanishi and Takahashi. Oh, and look at this. Torture rack from Nakanishi.
Oh, Takahashi might tap out here. Omega trying to break it
but...
up. And Nakanishi saying, no, no. Oh, Kenny Omega ducked the lariat. There's a super kick there.
Super kick.
Low
angle drop kick from Takahashi. Kotaru Crusher from Omega. Oh, and the low angle drop kick again from Takahashi. Goes for the pin. 1, 2, and no, Nakanishi kicks out. Nakanishi staying alive in this match, keeping his team in it.
But look at Nakanishi's position. Yujiro Takahashi might be able to hit that DDT.
He's in position for it. Here we go. Oh, but Nakanishi with the choke.
Are you kidding me? Wow, he's staying in it.
Goes for the lariat, but the super kick, and now the DDT, and he hits it, and that's going to be it. 1 and 2,
3 count.
And you could see Kenny Omega playing defense in the corner, holding Nagata back from breaking the pin up.
And I gotta say, though, Yujiro Takahashi was taking Nakanishi seriously because he even bothered to hook the leg on that pin.
Yeah.
Well, normally Takahashi just likes to lay into it, have his hands folded behind his head. No, he wanted to put this one away.
Yeah, that's usually Captain New Japan, though. Let's be fair.
Yeah, that is true.
Or Gedo. He does that to Gedo a lot, too.
Yeah. Those scrubs.
Those guys really, Gedo and Captain New Japan really have been sort of the perennial losers of this tournament so far as the tag match series go.
I couldn't have said it better, partner. And these guys, Kenny Omega and Yujiro Takahashi, the furthest thing from losers.
I think Yujiro's winning streak is probably going to land him in another G1 next year.
Probably, and I would hope that his performance next year would be better than the one that he had last year.
I think he only had, 2 wins last year?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, he definitely didn't perform as well as I'm sure he hoped. But again, that just goes to show you how physically demanding G1 Climax is. Because Here's a guy who is absolutely dominant in this tag match series over the course of this year's tournament. But last year he was in G1 and he only had 2 wins throughout the entire tournament. This truly is the most grueling tournament in all of pro wrestling, and I would even argue in the history of pro wrestling.
In fact, it's funny as we get the double gun pose, bang! It's funny to me because if I remember correctly, Yujiro Takahashi's first tournament win last year was at the expense of Yuji Nagata, and he just beat Nagata's team here in tag team action.
I think you might be right. Wasn't he actually the one that caused the rib injury?
He might have been. Either he was the first one to cause it or the first person to really capitalize on it and get on the board.
Yeah. And now look at how massive this next tag team match is. We've got an 8-man tag match featuring not 1 or 2, not even 3 or 4, 6 G1 Climax B block competitors.
Unbelievable. As the genius of the kick, Nakajima, coming out first.
Nakajima is again teaming with Chaos. It really makes you wonder if he's going to be ending up as a member of said faction. Teaming up with Toru Yano, YOSHI-HASHI, and Gedo. And we already know Nakajima, Yano, and Hashi are all in G1 this year. Their opponents, however, really interesting. Michael Elgin, Shibata, Honma. We already know Honma and Shibata have some beef from earlier on in the tournament when Honma beat Shibata and then shoved him out of the ring because Shibata, disrespected Honma. And they're the 4th member of that team, though, David Finlay. So we have a young lion in this match on a team opposite of another sort of perennial loser of the tournament, Gedo. It's anyone's game here.
I would certainly agree with you, partner, because for those that think, oh, there's no way that David Finlay could beat Gedo, keep in mind that Juice Robinson has pinned Captain New Japan now not once but twice, and I would put Captain New Japan and Gedo at the same level.
Yeah.
Now Nakajima, the genius of the kick, I'll tell you, he gave Naito one hell of a fight yesterday, but it wasn't enough. Naito picking up the win there.
I wonder if Nakajima's knee has healed.
That is a good question, partner, and we're going to find out. And let me tell you, you want to talk about a guy that's really starting to get in the rhythm a little bit, Toru Yano. had an
Here's the crazy thing. His record is still perfectly following Tanahashi's record.
Yeah.
They both started 0-3, and they've both been 3-0 since then. So if Tanahashi and Toru Yano are somehow spiritually linked, I think we might actually end up seeing a very interesting dynamic play out in this tournament because, I mean, Tanahashi could very well win the rest of his matches, which, if that means Toru Yano's going to win the rest of his matches, then if he could actually win the block, he could win the B block.
And I never thought there'd be a day where you and I would discuss seriously the prospect of Toru Yano winning his block in G1
The G1
Climax.
Climax 26 finals could be Tanahashi versus Yano.
And Tanahashi would have to dread those roll-ups. You know, I mean, he has a history of getting caught just like Shibata.
Yeah.
Toru Yano. I like Toru Yano, though. I know you love him, too. I think he's just such a different flavor than what most people who watch wrestling are used to. He beat Yuji Nagata ingeniously yesterday. The first count-out victory of the tournament. Toru Yano able to dispose of Yuji Nagata, able to neutralize him by taping his feet together. And with Yuji Nagata having his feet bound, he wasn't able to, regain a vertical base. He wasn't able to get back in the ring on time. Toru Yano getting the count-out victory.
And I think it is entirely possible that Yano, whether Tanahashi wins tonight or not, I think that Toru Yano's winning streak that he's got going on right now will end tomorrow, because tomorrow he meets the unbreakable one, Michael Elgin.
That's and I keep saying it for people. I said it for YOSHI-HASHI yesterday. I'll say it again for Toru Yano. That is a fascinating opportunity, because if you beat Michael Elgin, just like Evil and Naito, I'm sure, are thinking about somewhere in the backs of their minds, you could position yourself for an IWGP Intercontinental Championship match.
Yeah.
And Toru Yano as Intercontinental Champion, it's got kind of a nice ring to it, so you don't know.
Indeed, it does. And I don't know. I think Elgin is just on another level. I think Elgin is going to sort of put Yano's shenanigans to rest.
I think
not permanently by any means, but I think that he's going to find a way to sort of overcome that initial onslaught of shenanigans and eventually kind of force Toru Yano to really wrestle him, at which point I think Elgin has a massive advantage.
Right. I think Michael Elgin, Big Mike, I think his first two losses in the tournament, to Evil and then to Naito, that was kind of like cold water to the face. He took them. I think he woke up after that, and he's just been so dominant ever since. And Toru Yano, that's kind of bad luck for him. It's kind of like he drew the short straw, because he didn't get Michael Elgin at the start of the tournament, where it would seem more likely that Toru Yano could have gotten a victory. No, he's got the focused Michael Elgin now. Toru Yano is going to start things off with Elgin here, a preview for tomorrow. Do you think Toru Yano has any chance of getting a victory?
Of course he has a chance, because just knowing him, all he really needs to do is copy the Nagata strategy. If you tie Elgin's feet together on the outside, I don't know. I mean, if that said, though, if anybody in this tournament is strong enough to break through training tape with their feet, I think Elgin might be the one. So maybe that wouldn't even work.
Perhaps. And now look at the forearms.
There you see the eye rake, though.
And Elgin, just a straight shot to the face.
And that's what I'm talking about when I say Elgin's going to break through the shenanigans and he's going to find a way to force Toru Yano to really wrestle him. And I think that's going to give Elgin an advantage.
Exactly. Now look at Toru Yano here. Just having a good laugh at Elgin's expense. Oh, look at that duck there. Tags in Gedo.
Gedo wasn't even paying attention.
Gedo just looking at Toru Yano like, you motherfucker.
And he tags him in against Elgin, too. Powerbeard versus Powerbeard. There's no real actual competition. Elgin's is more impressive.
And I'll tell you, Gedo is not a fan of this at all. I can't even believe he's getting mouthy with the IWGP Intercontinental Champion. I think they're actually arguing over their beards. Wow. And look, Gedo is going to need to be shrewd and have these tactics because he's a junior heavyweight against a heavyweight among heavyweights in Michael Elgin. Nice shoulder block there. Elgin starting out dominantly like we thought he would. And yeah, I do not pity Gedo right now, partner.
No, definitely not.
And now, Gedo with the waist lock. Good luck.
This is not going to work, Gedo. Oh, and the big back elbow from Elgin.
What a hard back elbow that was. Gedo rocked there.
Gedo looks like a Japanese mini-me for Elgin.
And now Gedo. Could it be the delay vertical? YOSHI-HASHI.
I kind of really want to see Gedo in a singlet just so that we can see how similar he and Elgin look.
Right.
Oh! They couldn't break up the vertical suplex delay, so they had Yano come in and do the eye rake and break everything up.
That was brilliant. Now they're just ganging up.
And now Yano undoing the turnbuckle pad.
Oh my god. I love chaos, man. Especially Toru Yano.
Yano, yeah, specifically. And there, Elgin into the bare turnbuckle.
That
hurt.
Be a bitch on the back. And hey, you know, we have a good laugh, and this and that about Toru Yano's antics, but you figure Elgin with his size and everything, all the pain's got to be exacerbated because of all of his weight that he's got to support. So, I mean, Toru Yano is softening up Elgin a little bit for tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. And there's the back elbow from YOSHI-HASHI. YOSHI-HASHI's opponent tomorrow, let me get a reminder going on here. YOSHI-HASHI's opponent tomorrow is Shibata.
Very interesting. We'll see.
I would say Shibata's got that on lockdown, but YOSHI-HASHI's been surprising me. He might actually pull out the upset.
He might. I mean, he wasn't able to do it against Elgin yesterday. He gave it a game effort. Elgin was just too much. But Shibata, he can really go either way. I think Shibata, the funny thing with Shibata is, as you see now, YOSHI-HASHI breaking out of the waistlock with the back elbows. The funny thing about Shibata is, when he's on, I think he could be one of the best in this company. I think very few men
how many
can beat
people
him.
can we say that about, though? That's like the running theme in New Japan is everybody's so talented that on their best day, they can beat just about anyone.
Exactly. Like, I look at Shibata, and really what I see is an IWGP Heavyweight Champion waiting to happen. But I'll tell you, man, he's got his flaws, and we've seen them the past 2 years in covering G1. Nice basement dropkick there. And I'll tell you, Shibata just taking YOSHI-HASHI to school, taking him at the task there. Nice suplex into the hooks the leg. No, he does not. It's a lateral press, my mistake, but still only 2. And I'll tell you, I mean, Shibata and YOSHI-HASHI, we're getting a preview of tomorrow right here. Shibata could get caught. Nice knife edge chop there by YOSHI-HASHI. Shibata eats it. Gonna ask again. Another knife edge chop there. Shibata still asking for more. Another chop, and just one forearm. One forearm from Shibata is enough. Partner, do you think there is any striker that could even go blow for blow with Shibata? Because I think he's one of the best strikers in here.
Yeah, he might be the best striker in this tournament. Maybe Ishii, but we saw them have a war at Wrestle Kingdom 10 this year, and Shibata even came out on top of that. That was how Shibata won the Never Openweight Championship that he lost to Nagata temporarily, but won back and holds to this day.
Right. Nice boot there to YOSHI-HASHI. Now he's going to go off the ropes. YOSHI-HASHI, though, the desperation lariat.
I'd like to see Shibata and Makabe go at it.
That would be a fascinating matchup. I want to see that, too. And now YOSHI-HASHI is going to make the tag. He does. Nakajima in. Honma in. Is this also a preview for tomorrow?
Is what? The Honma and Nakajima?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Very interesting there as well. It's going to be the Kokeshi versus the Brainbuster. We'll see which one wins out.
One of them requires you to drop your head on your opponent, and the other one requires your opponent to be dropped on their head.
Exactly. Kind of funny when you put it like that. And there, Honma missing the first Kokeshi, and now Gedo and Yano just rushing. And now Honma there, he's in a bad way.
Yeah, Honma is sort of your ultimate underdog at this point. He won his first 2 matches, but he hasn't won since.
Exactly. Inverted Tama drop there by Toru Yano. Gedo here, and Nakajima double super kicks to the face.
I love that double super kick. I love that Nakajima and Gedo have kind of a double team move already. It really does lead me to speculate that Nakajima is going to be inducted into Chaos very soon.
I think he would be great. I think that's a fine membership. And now, could it be the backdrop driver here? Honma resisting. Elbows to the back of the head there.
I can appreciate a good backdrop driver as much as the next guy, but he's not going to win with it unless he bridges it out.
Exactly. What a super kick there, though, in the corner.
That was right on the button right there. And now the backdrop driver, again though, release variation and then goes for the pin. 1, 2, no, Honma kicks out.
It was close, but no cigar, as they say. And I'll tell you, I mean, there was one time where a G1 Climax tournament participant pinned his opponent. That was YOSHI-HASHI with Honma. Let's see.
Was it even a pin or was it a submission? I feel
it was a pin. He caught him in a victory roll.
Oh, that's right. You're right. And there's the torpedo Kakeshi from Honma. Has he even attempted a normal Kakeshi in this match?
He did, but he missed.
Well, we know he likes to go for him, but he never actually hits the first one.
Exactly.
Oh, and
nice
there's the back elbow from David Finlay. Here comes the uppercut. Oh, another back elbow. I thought for sure he'd be going for the uppercut.
And there's the
uppercut. He just wanted to trick me into thinking it early.
Exactly. And there's the diving
uppercut. And now goes for the pin. 1, 2. Nakajima kicks out. No surprise there. Nakajima is way tougher than being pinned by a couple of uppercuts.
And now could it be the steamroller here?
Steamroller.
No, it's not.
Pin after that too. No, the uppercut again. Nakajima staggered, but there's the big kick. You want to talk about staggered? That might have knocked David Finlay clean out, but Michael Elgin breaks up the pin anyway.
Yeah, I think Michael Elgin had similar suspicions as you, partner. And now Gedo, look at that, going to try and isolate Honma here.
Gedo and Honma, what an interesting combination there. Oh, and now Nakajima has David Finlay in the ring by himself. He's going to hit him with a PK, I believe.
And now David Finlay ducks. Schoolboy here. 2.
1, 2. And Nakajima kicks out.
David Finlay had him stacked, but it wasn't enough.
No, wow, David Finlay really bringing it to Nakajima here. Might be the biggest mistake of his life. There's a drop kick from Nakajima. And now he's setting him up for another PK. Let's see if he hits it this time, and he does. Pin. 1, 2, 3. And Nakajima with the win for his team. And, you know, I'm not going to say he's representing Chaos, but he's representing a team that everyone else happens to be Chaos for.
Exactly. And Nakajima making quick work of David Finlay. What a match.
And now you see YOSHI-HASHI and Shibata still going at it out into the crowd.
Holy
Shibata
crap.
just has a real mean streak to the point that it just kind of seems like he hates everyone, you know?
I mean, I certainly don't blame him. I mean, coming from a man with misanthropic tendencies, I can relate to Shibata there, but good God. And they're going to go all the way to the back here. And it just tosses Yoshi. Look at this. They're fighting all the way, I mean, beyond the crowd. They're going to fight
back.
The
bell is, oh my God, they're going out into the hall.
Oh my God.
There might be people out there.
I
really hope they don't lead to New Japan being sued.
Exactly. I mean, I would really love for a camera to follow them here, but we're not going to focus on that. Nakajima got the winning pin here at David Finlay's expense, so the focus is on him, as it should be, but damn, I'm worried about YOSHI-HASHI there.
Yeah, Shibata, I mean, I said mean streak earlier, that might even be understating it. He has a hate streak. He hates everyone that he goes against.
He really does, and Michael Elgin there.
I think that's why he and Naito are so perfect for each other, though, because Naito might not necessarily hate everyone he goes against, because I don't think that he has that complex of feelings, you know?
Right.
But I will say, I think that Naito targeting pretty much everyone that he's about to have a singles match with to try and soften them up is even keel with what Shibata does. The difference is Shibata takes everything so much more personally.
Right.
You know, it's like the super emotional, almost sentimental Shibata versus the completely emotionless Naito. I think that's why they work so well.
Yeah, brilliant contrast there. An excellent analysis, as this was our tag team main event, which means the first half of day 13 is completed. And when
Absolutely, but the first match of our A block matches, I believe, is going to end up being Sonata versus Tamatonga. That's up next, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned.